Hi, everybody. I'm the RV Wingman. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to get right into it. So, picture this. You've saved up a lot of money. You saved up. You shopped around. You'd swear you've done your homework. I think most people would say that. I don't know of a single RV buyer who would say, "Nope, I've done no homework and I'm just flying blind." The reality is, though, so many people do fly blind into an RV deal that they're going to regret. To help you avoid making mistakes, I hope you'll check out my free RV resources info by scanning the code on the screen over here or finding the link in the description down below. No matter who you buy your RV from, this info can save you a lot of money and headaches. So, going back to how I started, you pull the trigger on an RV. You've got your RV all packed up for your maiden voyage. It's gonna be great. But when you get to the campground, get all set up, you begin to notice things. Hmm, that piece of trim over there that fell off. It's lying on the floor. A cabinet door that's sagging. The slide out sounds kind of funky when it's going out. The fridge doesn't seem to be cooling right. What do? Well, you call the dealer. And all too often you hear the line, "Well, go ahead and bring it all back. We'll take care of it." It doesn't always happen like that, but it does happen too often. Today, we're sitting down with someone who has spent more than 20 years pulling back the curtain on RV manufacturers and their lemon RVs. Beth Wells is the managing partner at Burdge Wells, and she doesn't just write stern letters. She tries cases, lots of cases, and she loves getting in front of a jury. She's watched manufacturers argue that a mobile tech's 1 hour visit shouldn't count towards your days out of service. She's seen buyers sign a warranty agreed to a start sheet that they never even read, and then they get grilled about it in a deposition. She knows that buybacks are rare, but she talks about it, what 153 days really means, and how the "we'll fix it later" that kind of walkthrough can turn into a very long wait. So we're going to start it off with the question that everyone asks, but we rarely get an answer to. When does Beth Wells refuse a case or say it's just not a good fit?
Not enough time or not enough repair attempts or not enough all of that, and then not enough problems. um, if there's something that they did that voids the warranty or arguably voids the warranty, it's just on a case by case basis whether I might take it. I might take it because I have arguments to get around it, but I know it's going to be risky, but I know going in, and I'll tell them about the risk. But in other instances, the risks, it feels like too much. So then I might take it and say, look, I might be able to get you a small amount of money, but I don't want to file a lawsuit on this. So then, I might be able to get them something. So I'll try to help them out, but they go in knowing that it's not something that I'm willing to file a lawsuit on.
Okay. I hear from people, some people say, I bought the RV a month ago and gosh, it's just giving me problems ever since day one. And I think I've got a lemon. And I'm thinking, no, you are a long way from having it. Might be a lemon, but they've only had the damn thing for a month.
Yeah.
If they're frustrated after a month, think about it after 153 days. So this is an emotional deal for people, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, people even with that amount, they're like, "Have you ever seen anything this bad?" And I mean, you feel bad like saying like, "Yours is like one of
the answer is yes, I guess.
The not strong cases."
It's got to be hard to talk to people that have got so much, not just financially invested, but emotionally. And then these people that live full time in their RV.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do? And it's because I'm sure you've had customers, clients that have had a limit RV case. They were full timers. What did they do? And if they did prevail, were they compensated for their expenses from not being able to live in the thing? Or it's probably too broad of a question.
More recently, I'm seeing a lot of people, the dealer will send out like mobile service or mobile techs to their location. I did have one client a couple years ago. They actually lived on the dealer lot for over 6 months. in their RV.
Oh, how nice.
I cannot even imagine how awful that would be. But yeah, they did. They were like an older couple too. It seemed like a miserable situation. But
Oh,
those are the two that kind of stick out. But yeah, I'm seeing like more and more where they're sending mobile texts out. So they're not really, instead of being like in the shop for a long time when they're waiting, it's like you can argue that it's multiple repairs as opposed, you're not gonna have a lot of time because they're just coming out for the day, doing what they can do. And then
is that part of the 153 days? You know, I mean, it's if I'm my hot water heater's out or something, you know, I've got a real issue. They send a mobile tech out. If I were to have it at the shop there for 2 weeks to get looked at, that's 14 days. Or do they just say, well, this, you know, we sent somebody out, that's 1 day?
well, I'm sure the manufacturer's going to argue one day, and I'm going to know that it's risky to argue more than 1 day, but I'm going to argue more than 1 day. But like in reviewing it, I'll consider that. Does that make sense? The fact that I could lose that argument.
Yeah. So you don't want to be relying on that. You want to have other stuff that you can count on for sure.
Right. Will I still argue it? Of course, because it makes sense. If you can't use it because it's not fixed and it's sitting there, it's the same thing. It's just at a different location. So.
When you are, you know, you're the plaintiff, I guess, because you're the one that's suing these manufacturers. Are there many gotchas that you see? I know you've been doing this 20 something years. Are there many gotchas the manufacturer goes, ha ha ha, and here's a little loophole here, and or are you pretty well prepared? You've seen pretty much most of the gotchas.
Yeah, I mean, they all like to, they all now have, I think we talked about this before in another session, but where they have that warranty start sheet where they have them sign, they require them to sign the sheet, and it basically says like, I'm aware of everything in my warranty and I agreed to every term and all that. That's something that they specifically like to talk to the plaintiff about in depositions. So I try to make them aware of it ahead of time. But
why did you say that you understood it when you didn't understand it, but you signed that you understood it? It's that kind of.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, most of them say the same thing. I was just told that like sign here, this starts your warranty, and I didn't have any reason to think like, you know, they were trying to trick me, or I mean, they probably weren't. They probably just know I need to get this signed.
Yeah. So what are you seeing nowadays? Since before COVID, let's say 2019, the number of lemon cases or people contacting your firm versus 2025. Are there any trends that you're seeing, upticks in anything, or is it about the same? Or
I think we have like probably higher volume now, but I don't know that I'm seeing like any particular trends that weren't there before.
So the problems are still the problems. It's a slide outs are a huge issue, and the same. There's just more of them, I guess.
Lot rot, like when it's just sitting on the lot for a year before it's sold, it's going to have a lot more problems. They don't do, like we talked about, they don't do that second PDI, and maybe since the RV was sitting there and they needed parts and the manufacturer couldn't get them parts, they went to that RV and took the parts out. So then there's things missing, things like that.
Going back to the lot rot thing, I know that there are some manufacturers, some dealers say, well, you didn't take care of it. You didn't maintain the seals. You didn't get up on the roof and but I'm thinking, wait a minute, does the dealer do that? I mean, does the dealer really go up there? Oh, it's been here 6 months. You need to get up there, pal, and go not to the owner, but to the guy that's in charge of service. I wonder if they maintain it, and do they have to keep those records?
Just depends as far as like the dealer maintaining it. That depends on there's a dealer agreement with the manufacturer. So depending on the manufacturer, there's requirements on like what they have to do once it gets to the dealership. I have always found that humorous when they argue, like maybe someone's had possession of their RV maybe like a week. The rest of the time it's been in the shop for repairs. And then they argue, well, that's a maintenance issue. Well, How are they supposed to, if they were having that problem like a week after they bought the RV, clearly it was not a maintenance issue because it was already like that. And then how are they supposed to maintain it when it's not in their possession? So yes, maybe the manual says that's a maintenance issue, but factually it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. When you're there presenting a case and the defense brings that up, you go to a lot of jury trials, right? I mean, you've been,
Yeah.
what do you ever see the jury go, oh, come on, their faces just kind of, their eyes
Well,
roll?
you do, or like you'll see, although you never really know for sure. They could be rolling their eyes because they don't like the way you talk, or they could be rolling their eyes because they agree with you that it's ridiculous. So you never know, and a lot of jurors try to be like, as as the look ahead, not being biased
Stoic.
or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, there's always like one or two, like just even in the last trial, you'll see people roll their eyes. So then you're thinking like, okay, I think I have that juror, but you don't know for sure. So
Right. What was that movie? Runaway Jury or something with Gene Hackman. Anyway, okay. Now I want to ask you about buybacks, because quite often people that contact me, they say, all I want is a buyback. I'm thinking that ain't going to happen, but maybe I'm wrong.
yeah. So in our recent trial, we were able to get a buyback for our client through, like, the jury awarded it, but it's only because it was like a manufacturer direct. And there's not a lot of manufacturer direct companies anymore. So the reality is, in most states, you're not going to be able to get a buyback. I know there are a couple of states that do allow it for breach of warranty, but most don't, and Indiana does not. So you're entitled to the difference in value of the goods between like what you thought you were getting and what you ended up getting. So let's say the jury thinks like they agree with the owner, it's worthless. So they could award you the full purchase price. And even though the customer doesn't want it, they would keep the RV. The jury can't say like, take the RV back. It's called privity of contract. So since the dealer's in between the manufacturer and the owner, they didn't have like a contract between them. The sales agreement was between the owner and the dealer. That means like they can't take it back. They can't order them to take it back. So in some instances, the manufacturers will do a buyback, but only because there's a risk that the jury could award the full purchase price and then they don't get the RV back.
But that's rare, isn't it? I mean, that's the chances of getting a buyback are pretty slim. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rare. It's more likely to occur than you might think. But it's typically like getting one with everything back is rare. Getting a buyback with like some kind of like, oh, I'm giving up on getting this back or this back or this back, but I'm getting this back. Does that make sense? So maybe not getting all your money back. That's a little bit more common, but it's still rare to have your RV bought back.
So here's the unvarnished truth. Not every bad experience is a winning lawsuit. It's not. Most RVs are not lemons, and many that you think would be just don't, they don't meet the legal lemon recipe. So many things come into play. Time matters. It does. A paper trail matters. The sequence of how things happens matters. If you first sign your paperwork and then you do your walkthrough, you've already got the cart before the horse. If a mobile tech shows up 3 times, a manufacturer may call that 3 days. You may call it 3 months that you couldn't use your coach. Different math, same headache. Today's takeaways: first, don't rely on hope. Don't do it. Rely on records. Keep those dates and repair orders. Who did what and when. Know your deadlines, the statute, and anything your warranty tries to shorten. Know these things ahead of time. Don't accept the, go ahead and take it out, make a list of everything, bring it back, we'll get it fixed, for anything more than just the cosmetic stuff. Expect the blame game. Expect it. You know, dealer points to the manufacturer, manufacturer points back to the dealer. Keep both in the loop. That is your responsibility. Finally, understand that buybacks are rare. They do happen, but not very often. Many states only award the difference in value, not a return back to the manufacturer or to the dealer. We've got more with Beth Wells, more real situations, real outcomes, and a whole lot more info to keep you, will help you become a happy camper. Because the more you know now, the less you'll pay later. Thank you for watching. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home.